maybe this was just about camaraderie. Maybe this was just about
camaraderie.
Maybe this was just about people meeting each other or whatever.
Camaraderie, all right.
But I swear to goodness, I felt like there was a back door somewhere and things was going on, and that the glow party was just a front. And I really felt like a little lamb. I was like, I don't know how. I don't know how I ended up in this space.
Because you went to party. And you got to tell them no.
Welcome to Thoughts in the Glass podcast. I'm LaToya.
And I'm Kendra.
And this is a weekly podcast where we share our unfiltered thoughts on all of the things.
So, look at me grabbing my drink. So grab your drink and relax and join us on a fun-filled conversation of all things happening.
Period.
And we're going to have a good time.
And Kendra out of order drinking her drink.
I was showing a little parched.
Normally, we start off by telling you what it is before we take a sip of it. So, Kendra, what is the drink tonight?
So, the drink tonight is a tropical Margarita.
You could play. You want to turn the sound off?
So, you're going to do 2 ounces of tequila, a half an ounce of pineapple juice. Sorry, an ounce and a half of pineapple juice, a half an ounce of curacao, the blue curacao, and then an ounce of lime juice.
Okay.
Put it in your shaker. Pop, 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 over ice.
And that's that.
And that's that.
Cheers.
I'm really here for these summery drinks.
Yeah, you've been getting your use out of the curacao.
The curacao is curacao.
This is basically the same drink that we had the last time, but it's tequila instead of vodka.
Yes, this is like the resort splash.
Yeah.
So now we have a little.
It's not exactly the same.
No. I mean, you use the curacao, you use the pineapple juice. A lot of these tropical drinks, you're going to use the pineapple juice. You're going to use curacao because you want that color. And then
lime. It's the same.
Yeah,
pineapple juice, lime, curacao.
And then you just use
and it was tequila.
But tequila, yeah.
For this one, because it's a margarita.
This is tequila. The other one was vodka. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But
so,
there you go.
You switch it up, you get a new drink.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh goodness, it's a new week, y'all. She ain't looking crazy.
Now we box braid twins. Although mine are old.
Nadine's came through in the clutch.
Period.
I'm telling you something. Don't play. Nadine's got uniforms now, y'all.
Oh, they do?
All purple.
So when I went, they didn't have uniforms on.
They said show up and show out with your all purple scrubs. Okay.
I love that. I love to see them like growing and getting better.
They are doing their thing.
Yeah.
I usually it's 2 people working on my hair, so I had one person and she took about 5 hours, but child, I appreciate the space that I'm in where I'm able to tip the worth of the person.
I know that's right.
So she got her 20% of this $220 hairstyle. Because now that my hair, as y'all saw, was crazy, but when it's straightened, it's long. So I usually would do waist length, but waist length straight is okay, but it just leaves me about that much of braiding hair before it looks before my hair. So I did at the butt. And so I'm not realizing that the braid comes to the butt and then the rest of it is just stringy. Yeah. So anyway, so that's $220 for mediums. Anyways, I tipped her the full $40 for her 20%.
That was nice.
When I tell you, she was like, "Girl, look at the money!" I said, "They don't be tipping."
They don't.
I don't think people be tipping.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't. But it wasn't because I didn't want to tip. It was because we ended up being in a situation where all the cash I had to use to pay for the style because at the time, her Zelle was down. And I don't know what was going on with Cash App, but I had cash, but I was like, I'm gonna have to use all my cash to pay. Yeah. I'm not gonna have anything left to tip y'all with. So that ended up being the case. But I was prepared to try to give them a little something because I thought I was gonna be able to use my card to like pay for the hairstyle. So I didn't, but It's okay.
Yeah,
I don't feel bad.
I always when especially because knowing that this isn't like somebody's home, I know that they're not collecting the money is being collected by someone else. I know that they're only getting a portion of what they, and I'm like, if you, especially because she was the only person on my head, and even with that still being done in 5 hours, and they're neat, they're the length that I wanted them to be. She wasn't like eating and doing all that kind of stuff. So
I'm surprised that nobody came to help her.
And this is the thing. It's a very cushy time to come and get 2 people, right?
Okay.
So either you're gonna come at like super early in the morning. Like if I got there at 4, I would have had 2 people.
Okay.
I got there at 5, and she was just coming in. So at 5 o'clock is really the turnover for the people that's been working all night to get ready to go.
Yeah.
And then you have the new set of people. And if you've already been kind of doing my hair, they're already going to think like, oh, they probably not going to tip. So it's no point of me starting with it, like finishing with this person when they're not going to really tip me, when I can get a whole new person.
Yeah.
And 2 of us can do it, and whatever. So, but yeah, so anyway, but it's always a nice experience. I had my headphones in. I watched a couple shows, scroll through the Tickety Talk.
Yeah, I like when I was at Nadine's, I was actually editing one of our episodes. Like, it'd be a lot going on, but I feel like if you just come prepared, like you have a book or you have something that you can do, all of that going on around you don't even really phase you.
And
for
where
real.
I was, because like again, and this is the first time I've been I was in the 3rd room as well.
Okay.
So a lot of people also go in that first room and start helping there. Then they go in the 2nd room. By the time you get to the 3rd room, child.
Yeah, it is what it is.
You on your own. But I was right in front of the mirror. It was just me. And then I do like the last time. Usually it's somebody like around, and so I could be nosy too and see what the hell going on with everybody around me. So, but ladies is always a good experience. My go-to is my knotless because I like to be able to just throw my hair back up. I don't want my head hurting. I'm cool. So,
yeah.
And it's been helping my hair grow a lot. So we'll see. I thought about some cornrows, but then I'm like, in 2 weeks they're gonna be done.
That's how I be feeling too.
Give me 2 months. Give me a good 2 months before I have to pay more money.
Although your braids last 2 months. My braids ain't gonna last 2. Like 6 weeks is probably the max.
Yeah, I can go those extra 2 weeks.
Really?
To make it, yeah. Because if I do a headband, I'm good. Going to work and stuff, and then I'll lay it down. Because my hair doesn't grow in my parts. My hair goes straight with my hair. With whatever the braid is. So, like, if you were to part my hair, it wouldn't be fuzzy. Yeah. It would just look like, oh, okay, you have a lot of new growth. Yeah. Mine just grows straight with my braid. So I can get away with it for a while. Like, if I did cornrows with it or other styles, we could put some mousse on it, I could really... Especially if I had maybe went from, instead of doing a medium, did the small, I would be able to keep them longer than that too.
Yeah, I can't. I noticed that on the ends, my natural hair texture is starting to come. Like the fuzziness of the braid is not because the braid is fuzzy. It's because the curliness of my hair is starting to show through the braid.
Yeah, my hair doesn't.
And granted, Nadine's, they don't tuck. So that's another thing. But even when I go to a braider that does tuck, I still will get that my hair is starting to, the texture of it is starting to come out of the braid.
No, so with my hair, for example, if I don't blow dry it and all I do was wash it, comb it out, and plait it, and I plait it for it to dry, it will dry straight. So that's how my mom's hair is. When it's wild, it could be very big and curly, but I would have to do a lot to it. If I want to straighten it, I could put a ponytail and put a couple rubber bands. By the time I wake up the next morning, you would think I would have flat ironed my hair.
Really? Yeah. See, that ain't. Yeah. It's shrinkage over here.
Yeah,
it's big shrink McGee over here.
I think mine shrinks, but it's just wavy.
Yeah.
It's just super wavy.
Well, lucky you.
Yeah. And I have my mom's hair because my grandmother's texture is kind of like that, but the thickness comes from my dad. So it's thick, but it's the pattern and stuff is of my mom. So it's just a lot of waves everywhere.
Okay.
So.
Well, so anyway, you got your hair braided. What else did you do?
What else did I do? That's it. We were really supposed to go somewhere, but we didn't. We're in the process of kind of getting ourselves together. School's getting ready to start next month.
Right.
So I did get all of Jonathan's uniforms. In the process, I need to leave later on. I'm going to try to hit for my meals before they close. I try to get Jayla some pants. And then we'll work on her shirts. I told her to go on like Shein to get, see what they got going on.
Navy too.
Yeah. So we're going to... Maybe I'll try to take her to the outlet today. We'll see what time we finish up.
Yeah.
And then we'll do something. But
what about so the last episode, I believe we were kind of getting into our little politics bag a little bit, and I'm not really in it. But now we have Kamala as the presidential candidate for the Democratic ballot, going up against Donald Trump. I think that was probably the best decision they could have made. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
So, starting from the beginning, because I know we left off saying that we kind of talked about how we know that President Joe Biden is aging, and both of them are. Trump is knocking on 80. We said 78. Getting ready to be 79.
Yep.
So, and Joe Biden already being 81. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest, right? I have a grandparent who we can sit down and kiki and have a good time, but then I also know it's a little different. She ain't the 60-year-old that she used to be.
Yeah.
Right? And I get that. So I think that because I watch the different newscasters, I also, my father always says, you got to watch Fox. You got to see
you got to know what they're talking about.
You got to see what people talk about. And so I appreciate something that people have said throughout TikTok and things like that. Something that President Joe Biden has always done is put country first over his own visions of what he wanted to do in this political realm. And the fact that he knows as much as he said that he was like, he really appreciates being able to continue to be president. Yeah. However, he knows no matter what his own political goals are, the best thing for the country is somebody new, somebody with new ideas, things in your mind, and we have to think about this as we are, right? We always talk about how we knocking on 40, right? It's at the front door in the camper, waiting for us to come on this trip. And I'm not as spry as I used to be, baby. I got up from work. From my desk at work. I don't remember hitting my hip, but I tell you what, this hip was on fire. You hear me? I said, what I do? So I get it, right? Your mind is like, I'm still young. I could be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna run track. I'm gonna do this. I could do that. When I be looking at the Olympics and see them swimming, I could be in that water.
Oh, okay.
And then my body be like, bath water, baby, because you had it to what pool you going to, girl? Sit down. So I appreciate, and you could see that he was a little choked up. You can tell it was hard for him to do. But I think that he did what he needed to do for his country. Yes. And putting country first. And I definitely appreciate that. I appreciate, because you get all this, the Obamas haven't endorsed. Let's not forget him and Joe they friends.
I was never concerned about that. I'm like, they'll speak up when they're ready to speak up.
They're going to allow their friend to get all of what he need to get out because they already know what kind of media swarm it's going to be as soon as they say something, right? So that's 3 or 4 days of them just talking about the Obamas and replaying the phone call. They're like, okay, we know he's going to make a statement. if they saying on Monday or Thursday he's going to make this statement, we're not saying that until Friday. Nothing needs to roll out until maybe even Saturday.
Right.
We're going to give him the utmost respect as our president to do that. And that's what friends do. I don't know if y'all don't have them, but that's what your friends are supposed to do regardless of the situation. And I think with Kamala saying, I was going to rock with Joe however we was going to go. She told him, I don't think you should drop out. You've been doing an amazing job. It's a lot of stuff that we have gotten past and moved through because of Joe Biden.
And it's a lot of things that I think people get kind of lost because there's a lot of things that as a president and as an administration that they try to do that gets knocked down. So you don't see that, but that takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot of work too of like, I'm constantly pushing for these changes. I'm constantly pushing these bills and they're getting knocked down.
Rejected because you not just need to vote for your president, but vote for these goddamn people that's in this. The same people that's sitting on these in Congress are the same people that was there when Ruby Bridges was walking into that goddamn school up them steps. They were teenagers. So these are the same people that was at their picket lines, didn't want her to be able to have an equal education, are on these benches. Stop being so concerned about what the president can and cannot do, because it is, as we learned in social studies, it's a tower. He might be at the top, as they always say. You can see what happens at the very top, but it's a lot of things that have happened at that iceberg at the bottom of how to get to the top. So let's not.
And it's a checks and balance system too. Like he just
can't be like, I'm gonna do what I want. Like Trump is trying to do.
Right, exactly.
So we're gonna go down the rabbit hole of this. Yeah. So then you have Kamala comes out and when I tell you, it gave me a boost of sister girl. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Okay. A lot of people, send y'all, put in a picture. She looks like my mother to me. Okay. She reminds me a lot of the spryness and how my mother carries herself and the things that she does and how she be checking these dudes at work and putting herself forward. It also can be also a wife. Yeah. And a really good mom. Yeah. And yes, she had kids, but she's also a really good stepmother, as Kamala is with her stepchildren. So I appreciate let me tell you something. I promise you that if I one of the main reasons I wish I had gone to school, so I could have pledged. Let me tell you what. I'm not talking about the education. All the stuff I learned, I got on the job training, baby. Right. I would have been pledging.
Yeah, what would you have pledged?
Girl, Delta all day.
A Delta?
Delta all day, every day.
Okay. I definitely would have been an AKA, not only because I feel like I identify with them more, but I have lineage and my family would probably kill me if I didn't. So, but I didn't have time to do that in college, so.
I'd have been a doctor. So and I bring this up because of whoever orchestrated the call between these over 40,000 black women in hours of her saying that she's taking on this candidacy. When I raised a 1.5 because they said, so somebody was on the call and said we want, who was it that said it? I think was it Nancy? Somebody was like, we want to within 100 days. We want to raise $1 million. That's 100 days. We're talking about 3 hours, baby. 1.5.
They did it.
1.5. And then one of the people who work at Zoom, because they only had 1,000 people in there first. And then she said, don't you worry about it. And got them folks up in there.
So I got did you get the invitation?
No.
Okay, so I got the invitation. So speaking of being connected to sororities, I know several AKAs, right? And so one sent the link into my book club. Okay. So I got the link, but literally that night, like you couldn't get in. Well, at least when I got the link, you couldn't get in.
Yeah, so they said they had
to get I was just like, whatever, I'm not gonna get in. Then there was actually a Discord. So I don't know, y'all people, if y'all know about how this works, chime in. But apparently somebody that was already in the Zoom was like funneling the feed to Discord. and so you could hop on Discord and get into it. But then shortly after that happened, the Discord ended up getting full, crashing. And then shortly after the Discord crashed, that was when we got another text with a new link saying that it was open and it was unlimited. But at this time, it was like about 10:45 at night. And I, at the moment, didn't understand what was going on. I just thought she was like doing like a little press conference. So I ended up going to sleep. I was like, I'll check in the morning. I'll check in with them and find out what she was talking about. When I tell you my phone was going off all night, and when I finally checked in the morning, that's when I had saw like, oh, it was a bunch of people in there. They raised a bunch of money, whatever. And I was like, dang, I should have been on the Zoom call. But it's fine. Like, they did good. They did what they needed to do. I didn't have to be there.
Listen, they did their big one. So then you have, so of course the news outlets going crazy. I can't believe it. Well, the black men said, don't leave us out.
I know that's right.
And they said, get on the call.
Yep, they raised.
They raised. I don't think it was quite 1.5, but they raised a significant amount, maybe about in the million or close to. The Karens for Kamala said, "Don't you worry about us. We gonna be in there. White folks, get on the back of the train and hook on." Yeah. And they raised $2 million and crashed Zoom. Yeah. Then the Latinas. And the thing is,
and this is unprecedented. They said that
this is the
first time that this amount of money has been raised in this short amount of time. So to me, that sends a clear message.
I'm gonna tell you something, and so of course, once she comes out, you have all of these, what the lady said, I can't think of what she said, but when I tell you I was hollering.
What?
The dude that, oh God, now I can't think of his name, but he is saying, now we can't have no black woman in the office. Now get y'all asses back in the kitchen and in the bedroom. And she was like, it's always some Kermit the Frog looking at, when I tell you she read him for filth. And it's the one, I don't know if you watch, see stuff on TikTok. He's on there a lot, talking about like what black women shouldn't do, just some bullshit. And I'm like, you're not even in the realm of who somebody would want to be with.
But you know what it is? It's rage bait. You know, it's like I feel like people do that on purpose because they're like, well, if I say something controversial, then
it's going to be right.
Yeah, then I'm gonna get attention. So I feel like that's what it is a lot of times.
And so then the other thing that kind of pissed me off. Then you have black, so-called content creators. Oh, one of them, I know her name, Fanita, because I saw this earlier. Was like, oh, she's not going to be she's black, she's a woman, mind you, she's a black woman saying this.
Yeah.
She's not going to be the president, she's not going to do this, she's not going to do that. When I tell you, them people got on in them comments and ripped her to threads.
And Fanita need to be quiet because she just got out of some mess.
Hot water! She said, "Simmer me back up." But then what she do? Turn all that, took that damn thing off. Then the dude, his name used to be Conscious Lee.
Yeah,
He was like, oh yeah, I'm tired of being in this Democratic whatever. I'm voting for Trump. And in my mind, I'm like, go away.
I'm surprised. I gotta see that clip from him because
and he had a MAGA hat on it. Go.
Really? Are you sure it wasn't satire? Because he normally is very very liberal. So for him to say something like that is crazy. Now, yeah, I'm not saying that he didn't. I'm just saying it's shocking to me.
And I was getting ready to, and I'm glad I didn't, because I was sure enough going to what's the face? Delete him from my thing. I gotta find when he actually said it. But no, baby, he out here with a MAGA hat on. Now I gotta find it, but yeah, he pissed me off real bad.
Okay.
But it's other people that just, and the thing is, this is what bothers me when they talk about her record and all that she has done. And I mean, when I say she was over there making moves in California, making moves, and so she prosecuted 1,900 black. She was a fucking prosecutor. Right. So does she not do her job?
Supposed to do?
But then out of those 1,900, only 45 were convicted. The others, she started all these different programs. She was, when passing. And again, I love Obama. This is when President Obama was still on the line of what I'm gonna do about LGBTQ. She over there like, marry these people. Mm-hmm. This is what it's gonna be. Not only that, did we not drudge up that Trump signed for her re-election as Attorney General of California, $5,000 towards her campaign?
Oh, okay.
Oh, we all friends, babe. Come on now. So you have all of the steam behind her, which I am here for.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you something. The things that boil my blood is these MAGA Republicans. Who, I'm not even gonna call them Republicans, these MAGA folk.
Okay.
Who have lost their minds. J.D. Vance is a mess.
He's just young and being manipulated, I feel like.
He was saying this before Trump. Before he was with Trump.
But remember, he didn't even like Trump. Like, he
right.
wasn't...
So 2 years ago when he was saying he ain't like Trump, he ain't like this, he don't like him, he's the worst, this, that, and the fourth. He also said that this government is run by childless cat ladies.
Oh, yeah, he did say that.
So this was before he was being manipulated. This is how he felt. The ad that he ran when he was trying to go in for state senator of, are y'all racist? Don't you want to deal with the board? This is before. This ain't Trump. This ain't now. This is prior to. He has a goddamn problem. And it bothered me so because I know people who have had children where stillborns and things like that.
Absolutely.
Who had to choose between themselves living and carrying a baby, so they had to have a medical abortion. There are people that who know, like, that's not for me right now.
Yeah,
I'm choosing not. Why does my business? Why what comes out my cooch got anything? Because it have anything to do with you?
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with you. Because if I lose my job and I can't feed my kids, then I'm wrong for being on welfare.
But I think the other issue is that they don't make the same criticism of men, so it kind of devalue. Like, it basically, you're saying without saying that all women are for it is to have your babies.
It's to have babies. And my thing is they say how can you have stock in this country without having children? A lot of people, the reason that people don't want to have children is because of I wouldn't want to now have a girl if this man became president, because if my child decided that she didn't want to have a baby, that, first of all, it's none of my business. That's between her and her doctor. I don't have a hell or having to put not near person in. Neither do them.
Yeah. And
half of them need to go, like, the way that they operate, the way that they treat people, like, this is like, things are going to happen. If somebody wants to have an abortion, maybe they're going to have an abortion, because that's what they were doing before Roe v. Wade. Yeah. And the maternal health, people were dying. We already have supposed to be one of the best healthcare systems, but yet in the South, the mortality rate for Black women is ridiculous. Yeah. So stop with this rhetoric of, are we about fam? No, you're not. All you want to make sure is that there are more Caucasian babies.
Basically.
I'm going to just be honest with you. The people that are not having babies are more Caucasian women.
And they have abortions more than minorities do.
Because half the time you ain't got the 5.
Yeah.
So you like,
but
I'm going to take care.
Too, and I'm just speaking from my own lived experience. I mean, somebody can do the research on this. But I feel like, at least in the Black community, getting abortions is not, like, that's not a fundamental value of ours as a community.
Right.
As a community, we typically keep our babies, right?
Correct.
I mean, you do have some that will go and do that, but generally, we're not the ones that are doing that. It is these white, middle class, educated women who are deciding
that's not for
this
me.
Is not what I want to do.
And right now.
So you can see with that being something that they're trying to control at a government level, it's targeted towards them. And they're trying to make it look like that it's targeted towards us, but that's not something that we do.
Because let me tell you something, we have the children.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, and if we don't, that's our business. And it don't take nothing. It takes nothing away from if you marry someone and you become a step parent. You are just as influential into that child's life as well. So just across the board foolishness. Then you got people backtracking. He don't want to debate. First it was any time, any place. Now it's oh, can I? Is she done got all of the Democrats saying nobody's running against her.
Yeah.
What we gonna do? The way that them grassroots, you can't cut them down, baby.
Yeah.
They out here.
Yeah.
So I think this is the energy that we needed, especially for me having daughters. And the fact that, and this is the other thing, this is the last, my little rant, and then I'll let you have it. Now that he's saying, he in front of Christians, in front of the Christians, I need y'all to vote. I need y'all to vote. I need y'all to vote because, it's the last time y'all have to vote because after in 4 years. In 4 years, they want you to vote again. If I become president, you won't have to never vote again because we'll get it cleaned up. So you ain't got to worry about it.
Wow.
This is not a dictatorship, baby. No. But then had another say, I'm not a Christian. But so for the last 8 years, including when we're going to, actually it's 12 years. So when you were running, I'm a Christian, I'm a this, I'm a that. Throughout your presidency, throughout now Joe Biden's presidency, and here we are doing an election. You talking about something. Now you're not a Christian. I just need, listen, that's a whole bunch of 18-year-olds that just turned 18 this year. I think they said over, it's like 50,000 or 30,000 boomers have now passed away. And it was about 50,000 new 18-year-olds that can now vote, or in this last 4 years where you've turned either 18 to 21, now you're able to actually vote. Get your booties up and be at that poll.
Yeah.
Because this is not just about today. This is for the future. 50 years ago, I would even just say 20 years ago, you wouldn't have thought that Roe v. Wade would ever be overturned. You would never think that your human right as a woman would be, like, you can't get, we're not even going to talk about abortion. Take that off the board. They don't want you to have contraception. So that means not just birth control, that means women's condoms. Contraception goes further than just a pill. That means no IUDs. It's a lot of things that for you as a woman to say, hey, I don't want to. So that means if you're raped, you're forced to, they want you to be, as they say, two wrongs don't make a right. The fuck are you talking about? So now I have to live with, because somebody else can't handle themselves. That's why we choose the bad.
Right.
This is why. But how are you feel? Like, are you in it? Like, what's up? How do you feel about it?
I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. I hope, on the one hand, I'm like, all of the people that do support Trump and they support his ideologies, there's a part of me that's like, give them what they want so that they can see how this, what you think it's gonna be, it's not gonna be. But then there's another part of me that's like, we can't afford that though, because so many other people are gonna suffer. We've tried that, and just for y'all to learn a lesson.
Yeah, and I even think sorry to cut you off because I forget, with these younger white women. Yeah, in high school and college, it's cute, right? Like, because I'm going to get married, I'm going to this, that, and the fourth. And then when you're in your 40s, and like how J.D. Vance stay in your marriage with these abusive men, when men give men the power to just be disrespectful, understand you will get disrespected. Yeah. Roe v. Wade didn't necessarily happen for black people. It was because of white women, baby.
Yeah.
All these things that were changed were forceful change because of it happening to someone that's on the that's normal, that's regular, right? I'm not going to make it as if anything happened to us because of someone cared more about us as a people, right? It happened because somebody else, white, felt like they were being underserved, and it was an injustice happening to them. I'm gonna tell you now that there's not an amendment that has passed that had to do with a white male. Mm-mm. They have been living free and clear from all judgment, they just been minding their business. And so
they haven't been minding their business. They've been in everybody else's
business. That's what I'm sorry. They have not been minding their business.
Yeah.
And been trying to be up in everybody's shit. Go on.
Because it's a fear of if you I think the fear of oppression is if I don't oppress, then the people that have been oppressed will rise up against me.
And that's what the thing is. Nobody's asking for more than a Caucasian male. Mm-hmm. All we're asking for is the same. But the thing is, once you are in the same race, mm-hmm. if we and I know what the thinking is, if we've oppressed them this much, and they still have gotten here, I can only imagine what they're able to do moving forward. But this is the thing, and the Wayans said it the best. The Wayans used to have movies coming out the galore, and they were pretty cool. They were good movies. When they started making money, the movies went down.
Yep.
And they said, because we have access to more, we don't have to be as creative. And if people were smart, and I'm not saying this for them to be like, oh, well, if you were smart, you would give people more, because the creativity would then be less, because you didn't have to be forceful in doing what you need to do.
Yep.
We always have to be better because we have to show up better. Mm-hmm. If you don't have to show up better and everything is even.
Well, and I think, and that's a lot of the issue for people who don't find themselves in any kind of minority, like intersectionality, right? Like if I'm not disabled, if I'm not gay, if I'm not black, if I'm just a, like you say, regular white male in middle class America, I don't really have anything going on for me that's causing me to have to go above and beyond. And so typically it'll be that group that's like, well, wait a minute, why do all these people get all these benefits? Like, what are they? Yeah, because you've been in you grew up in an environment where you didn't have to try hard,
and so you're mad.
It seems unfair to you
that you're being passed up.
Yeah,
and that's what they talked about. It was like, it seemed like white men have gone to the back of the line. No, you have chosen not to take what you have and do better. Mm-hmm. That's the problem. White women have realized, okay, I need to do better, because I cannot allow a man to only have to go to a mediocre job, pay these bills, and him get the benefits of everything. I want more. I deserve more. So, I think they said one guy was saying, "Oh, women don't want to work," and it's like, no, when you didn't have the privilege to work, we didn't want to. Once you got women when we couldn't go to school. Women don't want to go to school. The moment you put women in school and allow them to go to school, they flourished. They learned better. They've done better. They've surpassed men. You only can say that when they don't have the access to it. If I say, I've only lived in an apartment, I never want to live in a house, I've never been in a house. Then you put somebody in the house and they see the benefits of being in that house. All that person is going to talk about is the benefits of being in that house. And so it's going to cause other people to realize, oh, well, shit, I just been thinking this, but now I can move forward into something else. Your biases are showing.
Yeah,
your skirt is up, baby, and I see your drawers.
Yeah, and it's levels to it, too, because a lot of time, like for white women, they had that option, right? Whereas for black women, we've never had that option.
We've never had the option of security and being.
There is a bit of there's a twinge of difference when it comes to wanting to work. It's a privilege to want to work, whereas black women
have to.
We have there is no other really choice. We've always had to work. I mean, generally as a society, obviously some black women are privileged and they didn't always have to work, but generally we've always had to work. Those are the exceptions, right? To the rule. Those are the exceptions. And so when you say women don't want to work, well, first of all, you're only talking about a small group of people that even have that option to be able to want to work. Right. And even when you're talking about that small group, it's still not true, because they had the option and they still chose to work.
Right.
So
check
what are you saying?
Check your math and check your facts.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think we're both excited.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see moving forward what Kamala does. I'm ready for this debate.
Yeah.
Get in the field, as my daughter would say. Trump, get in the field.
I don't even know if he can.
I mean, he gonna get in. Baby, can he get out? That's the question. How you getting out?
I don't even know if he can. It's gonna be interesting for sure. As you said before, this is Harry Potter land.
Yes, I told you we in the fact. Listen, it's all over the place.
Let's
Here comes
on that, because speaking of fantasy, yeah, this probably just gonna be a catch up episode because we haven't talked in a couple days. But so all right, so y'all not be reading.
Getting a read on.
And I've been in my fantasy bag lately. I kind of been taking a break from some of the other stuff, but so last month, I think for the month of June, and one of my book clubs, because now I'm into book clubs, don't do me, we read The Wren and the Holly Library, which is a fantasy book. Okay. It was kind of being advertised as a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but I didn't really get that from it. I didn't catch that. I'll drop it in, but the author is K.A. Lindy. Okay. This is my first time reading this author, but I do love a good fantasy, so it was good. Okay. Now, the one issue that I had was coming off of reading a lot of romance, kind of reading a lot of smut. I kind of felt like it was lacking in the romance department. Now, this is an adult fantasy. A lot of times fantasy can be young adult, like Twilight, Harry Potter, all of that. It's like teenagers, high school. Personally, I'm trying to get away from that because as I'm getting older, I don't connect to those stories anymore. Yeah. And when they start to like have little crushes and stuff like that, for me it gets awkward. Like I
don't want to read about no little kids.
Yeah, I don't. I'm over it. Yeah.
I feel like a purr.
Yeah. So and so I've been kind of shifting a little bit. So this book to me is kind of similar to, if you're into fantasy, if you've read A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is a really popular fantasy series that's out right now. Or Fourth Wing, another really popular fantasy series. These are all adult fantasy series. So we're talking people are 18 and up, usually like 21 and up, like college age. So this one is similar to that. I thought it was a great read, but then I thought, it's missing a little bit of spice. Like, it's not that spicy. But it was good still. So in book club, we were like, all right, what do we want to read for the month of July? So I open up my big mouth and make a comment that, the last book wasn't that spicy. Then they were like, okay, the next book is going to be another fantasy. This is the Legacy of the Nine Realms series. The first book is called Flames of Chaos. And the flames was chaosing.
Let me get it back in my reading bag.
First of all, the book, I don't even know how it got so many high ratings, and maybe I'm just a book snob because I was like, this is like watching a Tubi movie. Okay, that's how the book. I mean, like literally from the first page comes in like penis swinging. I'm like. Now, I know I said that the last book wasn't spicy enough, but this one is just like dick. I was like, okay. All right. Now, right. Okay. I mean, it was like, okay, what did I get myself into? But for the sake of book club, I finished it. Okay. I read the whole thing. Okay. And I just, after reading it, I was like, at this point, I'm reading it for the amusement to really just see how bad can this book get. However, from this, the author is Amelia Hutchins. So a lot of people have said, once I started like reading the reviews and seeing what was up with this book, people have said that this is her first book of the series. It gets better after this one. You can tell with this one that she was a new author. And so that's why it kind of seems like...
So like how Power was. You know how Power started off and it was just something
Yes. But this is like Imagine Power, but on Tubi. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, girl, get all in the depths of that, and I was just like, okay, get me out of here. Well, I feel like maybe because of what I was reading, maybe I caused the universe to send that type of energy towards me because I went to a party, right? This past weekend. How I found out about the party, I found out about it on Eventbrite. It's supposed to be at a brewery. I'm not going to tell y'all all the details because I am not trying to, I don't want to bring any negativity to this location and to the people that organize the party. And you'll see why. So it's going to be a glow in the dark party. So I'm reading all the information, and it's going to be at a brewery. So I'm reading all the information. I'm like, oh, this sounds so fun. This sounds so cool. And there's going to be a DJ there. I wasn't familiar with the DJ, but I was just like, this sounds fun. So I go with my cousin. We go to the glow in the dark party. Anyway, so in my mind, I'm thinking, it's a glow in the dark party, right? So I was going for like an 80s vibe. Like, because you know how... Before I even got there, I kind of already knew, like, glow in the dark. Okay, so they're probably going to have, like, the infrared lights. Right. Stuff like that. Right. So, in my mind, I'm thinking, it's giving 80s vibe. Yes. It's giving neon leg warmers. Okay. So, I'm dressed in a little 80s aesthetic, right? Get to the party. First thing I notice, the DJ is an EDM DJ. So, it's like the... But you know me, I can really vibe in any situation. Right. So I was like, I'm not gonna let that bother me. We're gonna have a great time. Okay. So we get there a little bit late. I think the party was supposed to start at like 8. We show up at like 9:30, right? And so it's not that many people there yet. And the people that are there, you notice that everybody has a little flair to them. And then when I say that, I mean you're scanning the room and you can see maybe some gauges. You're scanning the room and you can see maybe some face piercings.
Well, when you say EDM, yes.
Right. So right now everything is still kind of on up and up, and this is what I'm expecting. Right. I'm looking a little bit more festive than most, but it's okay. And so the very next thing I notice is the furry community. Now, you know I'm with the shits, like Renaissance, you know, cosplay, all of that. So that doesn't alarm me. I'm like, oh, I saw at least 3 people with a tail. And little like little furry gloves and the little feet, the little ears, the paws and hooves, ears. This also doesn't bother me. I'm like, okay, everybody's outside, right? So we're having a good time. They got a little fog machine going. The lights are low. Everything's glowing in the dark. I'm standing out because I'm in a whole neon fucking outfit, right? And we're having a good time. People keep complimenting me on my outfit. I'm like, okay, cool. But then as, you know, more and more people are coming to the party and the place is starting to get full, I'm noticing that there's not a whole lot of people in fluorescent colors. In fact, it seems like they were all like on the email about the dress code, which was giving grunge. Yeah. So it's giving very much everybody's in black. Yes. There's a lot of, it's very giving emo. Yes. But then they were giving out free the little like glow necklaces. Yeah. So they were giving those out and like bracelets and stuff like that. And people were coming in with their own little glowy stuff, right? So I was starting to get a little confused now because I'm like, it's a glow party. Why is everybody looking so drab? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, other than the different little kind of characters that I see, most everybody is in black. Yes. But I don't let this bother me. In fact, I'm like, whatever. I'm going to continue to have a good time. Now, y'all know I really don't be drinking like that. But we're at a brewery. And I also hate beer. So that's not going to work. Right. So at this point, I haven't had anything to drink. And honestly, I don't plan on drinking. I'm just like, I'm here for the party. I'm going to have a good time. So the next thing I see that pops the eyes is
made your antennas go
all the way up. I began to see people with different adornments, and I noticed that they're being led. So first I saw this guy, he had on like a little choker, right? A little spike choker, and he's dancing. And like the lights are kind of dim. It's a glow party, and then so like it's dim. They have the fog going. You can basically see what's going on, but then once the music gets hype, they start strobing the lights, right? So at that point, it's kind of really hard to see what's going on, right? And I'm not trying to be too nosy, but I'm glancing. So at one moment after we come down off strobing, I noticed that the guy that had the spike choker on, there's a chain that's connected to someone's hand. So he's actually on a leash.
Okay.
And then I said, what kind of party am I at? What kind of fucking party am I at?
To go from the gauges to the tails.
Because here's why, right?
To
here's why.
Things.
Here's
and
why.
You see Alicia now, you're like, well, now wait a minute.
Yes. Surprise. I'm like, is there a back room or something that I'm supposed to avoid? Because what are we doing? But here's why. Because I've gone to different functions before. Okay, let me caveat by saying this. This is not to criticize anybody's lifestyle.
Oh, yeah, no.
Because I know
not kink shame here.
A lot of people, and so this is where I'm going with this. A lot of people live a lifestyle of play that is not related to kink. Mm-hmm. So I know people, I don't know personally, but I have met people who, wearing bear ears that is their thing. Like they're always wearing bear ears. It has nothing to do with a sexual thing.
Well, is kink always sexual?
I don't know. I feel like it is. Like when I hear the word kink, I immediately think of sexual. But then I feel like there's a layer to it that is really just like cosplay and really just like fantasy. Like, y'all know I'm into Harry Potter, so like I know a lot of people who really get into that. They have their wands, they have their capes, they have all of that, and they will go out in public with that stuff. And so that doesn't necessarily mean there's a sexual element to it. So that's why when I first started seeing this stuff, I just kind of was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I'm just in a little free little environment. Right. But when I saw that, and somebody being led on a leash also doesn't have to be sexual. But for me, in my mind, I have never seen it outside of a sexual context. So when I see that, I'm like, what? Eyes popping open, okay? Red flags.
Flags on the flag.
Now I'm like, if I already wasn't drinking, but I'm for sure not taking a drink now because I'm out and I'm with my cousin at that. I need to be on high alert, okay? So then it gets crazier. So my cousin starts teasing me because now people starting to feel good. They're having their drinks. We've been there for about an hour, and I'm getting a lot of compliments on my outfit. And so a lot of people are like, oh, I love your outfit. And I'm like, well, yeah, because everybody else is dressed in black.
Yeah.
I'm the only one looking like a neon fucking highlighter. But the invitation said glow party, so I'm thinking, this is what I'm supposed to do, right? So my cousin was like, teasing me like, they trying to get you. I'm like, don't do that. Don't, because we'll leave. We'll leave, okay? Don't do that.
They say you want to be seen, do you? You want to be seen, do you?
So, he joking with me, and I'm like, whatever, but we having a good time. I'm actually enjoying the EDM music, which I didn't think I would, but I'm enjoying it. What he was doing was taking, like, popular songs and, like, kind of
mixing them.
Yeah. So that was kind of getting me. Well, then I see, so two more things I saw, and then I was like, all right, we can go ahead and go. So the next thing I see was the vampires were out. Now, they had been there the whole time, but I didn't notice them because I wasn't really paying attention. But after I seen the man on the leash, after I seen the pet, I said, let me start focusing in a little bit. And then I noticed, because, you know, like when it's like the infrared lights, everything that's white kind of looks glowy. I noticed somebody's eyes glowing.
Oh, okay. So they had
the contacts in. And then, you know, people are laughing and talking and joking, and I see fangs. Okay. And I said, all right, I got it. I know where I'm at now. I know where I'm at now. Okay. I'm going to start
all itching. The groups that merged.
All of them that came out for the glow party. And I'm just a little lamb. Okay? I have no clue where I'm at. I'm on my way to grandma's house. I'm thinking, Robin it's a glow party.
Robin Hood out here with the cape on, overdressed, underdressed. You don't know where you
fuck. And I think they knew. She don't know where she at. No, she's supposed to be here.
No, she don't.
Because I'm just... I mean... Girl, neon bracelets, neon leg warmers, cute little mini dress. I'm just out here.
Having a damn time.
So I'm like, all right, we've been here for a couple hours. It wasn't over till I think 1, and originally my goal was like, oh, this will be the mood for the night. Like we'll just chill. But now I'm feeling like I don't know if this is quite my environment.
Yeah, okay, and it's a little later it gets.
I can make anything work, but I don't know if this is quite
I've done all I can do.
So me and my cousin, I'm like, okay, well, do you want to go to the bar and, you know, get something? I'm not going to have anything, but I'll walk with you if you want to get something. But, and also to kind of, because they got the fog and everything. So I'm like, maybe we should take a break from the dance area, kind of catch our breath, and we'll come back. So my cousin's like, yeah, let's go over to the bar. We go over to the bar, and there's a group of people sitting at the bar, and all kind of same thing, like grunge outfit, whatever. And I noticed a young lady, and she has on a black t-shirt, and on the back there's white letters, and because of the neon light, the white is really kind of glowing and popping at you. And I read the shirt, and it says, "Don't torture me or I'll come." I said to my cousin,
well, that's the night. That is the...
I said, are you sure you want to get something to drink? You sure you want to get something to drink?
That is the night.
And he was like, well, I don't really like beer, so, you know, I mean, nah, we don't have to get nothing. I just wanted to get out of the room for a little bit. I said, I'm ready when you are. And he was like, wow, what's going on? I was like, read the shirt. And he said, oh my God. I said, yeah. I don't know what the theme was for the night. And maybe that wasn't, maybe this was just like, oh, we just all gonna get together and party. Like maybe it wasn't about that. Maybe it was just about, because sometimes you gotta take a break from that. Maybe this was just about camaraderie. Maybe this was just about
the camaraderie.
Maybe this was just about people meeting each other or whatever.
Camaraderie, all right.
But I swear to goodness, I felt like there was a back door somewhere and things was going on, and that the glow party was just a front. And I really felt like a little lamb. I was like, I don't know how. I don't know how I ended up in this space.
Because you went to party. And you got to tell them no.
And this is why I'm saying, maybe from reading all these fantasy books, the universe was like, oh.
This is where you want to be.
You want to be in some fantasy? Got you. So we end up leaving. Like I said, I'm not going to expose them. I'm not going to tell y'all where I was at, what brewery it was. I'm not going to expose them because I feel like those people should have a safe space. But, I mean, if you really want to know because you want to go there, email me and I'll give you the specifics, but I'm not about to blast them. But, yeah.
It was a time.
It was an experience.
Okay.
It was an experience. I mean, so that was my part of my weekend.
Okay. Well, child.
I was still trying to recover from that. I really...
It seemed like they had a good time, though.
So, honestly, it was a good time. But as you, I hope I described it good because I really, it felt like a movie. Like the longer I was there, the more I'm like, wait a minute.
Your eyeballs was opening.
Wait a minute. Yeah. And then I'm asking myself, were all these people here the whole time and I'm just now seeing them?
Probably. Because if that's not something that you were, because you're not even the person, like I am let me go in and scope the scenery.
Yeah.
You kind of like, let me go in. I think we're going to have a good time. Mm-hmm. And then the scenery scopes you.
Yeah.
And by the time the scenery scopes you, it's too late. You in the mix. You done. And so luckily you're not a drinker because that's when people start drinking. They like, oh shoot, I didn't. Now you done got all involved. Yeah. No, I goes in and scopes the scene already.
And I think this is why my husband be so irritated sometimes.
Like, he be like, you just be ready to party, and he be ready to tell him no. Cause And the thing is, you know what? You should be able to, just as comfortable as they are in their own spaces, mm-hmm. you should be just as comfortable to just be hanging out and doing your own thing. And I think that nobody came and pressed you and nobody was doing anything. So I think they know their cliques. Yeah. They know who they hanging with. Mm-hmm. If they don't see no teeth, then they ain't talking to you. If they don't see no all black, you in there with Leon, they like, oh, she just came here for, she a troll. She just came in talking about some rainbow sunshine.
That's exactly what it was.
They were like, she just came for a good time.
And I think, I mean, honestly, I felt safe. I didn't feel like threatened or anything, mm-hmm. but it was just, just out there, right? You just realize, like, whoa, wait a minute. I think I'm an outsider.
Wait a minute. I think I left my conscience in a sixth dimension.
Yes, exactly. Shout out to Willow.
Right.
Exactly.
So funny. That's cool though.
So anyway, that was my weekend, or part of my weekend. What else we got going on? Olympics? Have you been watching it?
The U.S. is coming out.
Okay. Period.
The U.S. is coming out.
First of all, we gotta talk about how my girl opened it.
She did.
She did that.
She did.
She did that. Don't y'all don't do that. Let Beyonce live.
It was super cute. She was super cute.
She was super cute.
That's
my sister in my head.
I like her. She's cool. It was super cute. Thank you for giving Kamala the green light to use.
Oh yeah, she did.
But the U.S. is showing up. The swimmers is swimming. We were just watching that a little bit earlier. The basketball is balling. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to tell you what. I want to say, was it Sudan? They was coming for their neck.
Oh, yeah.
You hear me?
What about the track? I haven't been keeping up with the track.
Track usually is at the end.
Okay.
Because right now, Simone is flipping.
Okay.
She's giving the flips.
Okay.
And so somebody said this, and it was like, damn, that's crazy. They was like, I wonder how it feels to be the best, do your best in everything in these as a gymnast, and still only gonna be second place because Simone is gonna take it every time.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you've been working all your life to be number one, and you still gonna be number two.
Yeah,
that got to be a like. Are you fighting? Do you get to the point where you're only fighting for number two?
I think it's like that in every arena. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember when Venus and Serena, like, when they were at the pinnacle of tennis, and it was like all these other people that were really good, but like you still couldn't beat them.
It's like, do you just fight for number two?
I think you start to look at other goals. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I may not be able to beat you, but maybe I can beat my own personal record.
Right. You got to start having some personal.
You start having
BT time.
Yeah.
Personal time. What's your personal time? Because I'm like, Sha'Carri is out here.
Mm-hmm. And see, Sha'Carri, I think it's more fascinating with Sha'Carri because as good as she is, she's not unbeatable. Yeah. And so it kind of, it's more fun to watch because you're like,
sometimes she wins, sometimes she loses, but she be like,
these Jamaicans might get you.
Right,
and so you be on the edge of your seat.
Right, she like... And it's so crazy because the running looks slow.
Oh.
But I feel
like that's how the swimming is too. Like swimming looks slow when you're watching it, but they be going fast. Yeah.
And in my mind, I'd be like, I could have did that. I told you my mind be saying something.
My mind never says that. My mind never looks at.
If you was a little bit taller, my biggest thing is if I was a little bit taller. And I actually, because I used to like, I did sport. I like sports.
I understand that, but
in my mind, I'm like, if I had started young, right? Like, if I had really started young, if that was something like a passion of mine, and I wanted to be a runner, like, I will say this about
me. Yeah, definitely. You could have. I mean, obviously, we could do anything, right? Yes. So yeah, you could have, but the fact that you look at people at the Olympic level, and begin to think, about, well, maybe I should have stuck with this.
In my mind, I'd be like, Kendra, if you had just, because I am such a competitor, if I had something that I was passionate about, like I think it's the envy of y'all were so passionate about that, and so determined that you have put yourself on this stage. And it's like, sometimes that stuff is that, I mean, of course it's inside of you, and I'm like, I wish I had was in a situation where that was on the forefront of my parents' mind.
I get like that when it comes to creative things. Yeah. Like when I see people painting or like any kind of artistic thing, I get so I get it. Because I'll look at somebody that did a sculpture, and then I'd be like, I probably could. If I was into sculpture, I probably could have definitely done that.
Right, because I become so hyper focused on something that if I was in a space, I'll say this, if I didn't have children, and if I was younger, was into a certain thing, I could probably have become so hyper focused on that it would force me to want to be the best of that.
But it's hard though, because you being a parent now, would you push your kids like that into something specific? Because it would take, the child's brain is like, okay, this is fun, but I'm over it. I don't want to do it anymore. It would take the parent to be like, no, you're going to continue to do it because you're irritated today, but eventually you will hyperfixate on this thing. But as a parent, you wouldn't force your kids into something.
So I also think that there are certain things that you don't have to, right? So I think the people that are at the Olympic level already had that there was no force into it, right? Like, I'm pissed off now, but they're also flipping through the damn house. Yeah. Because there's for NBA players. They had a bad game, but they're going to go back that next day and play them same people, right? So my brother, and of course he's not super tall. Terrence is 6'2". He's probably gotten shorter now because he's, as you get older. But when I say that brother could ball, and my father was out there with him every day practicing. He was one of the helping with one. I think was he one of the coaches or helping with one of the coaches. It's just whatever. But my dad was very athletic too, because he tried out for the. I can't remember what they were when he was doing it, but he tried out for Washington's baseball team. Okay. Because he has, and unfortunately in his previous relationship, all of his articles were destroyed when he got divorced. But when I say he had articles, because he went to either Southern or Northeast, I think it was Northeastern in DC. Okay. And when I say Hall of in Washington Post because of the things that he was doing right in his team. So he was very athletic. My brother, when I say bald, played basketball. So that now I've been thinking about myself, because my brother has a son now, and so he's now more into video games. Aiden's more into video games, and I'm like, he should. In my mind, if I was a baller, my son would be balling right now.
You think that, but then it don't. The kids don't be doing it.
When I tell you, so I wanted the girls to do majorette. Sula doesn't have majorettes; they have dance girls. And so I want Jayla. Part of me is I want her to go to Flowers to learn how to be a majorette, because that, baby, if I can't teach her nothing,
you can teach.
little squirt, little around the neck. I can teach you that, baby. If there was something that I could do, like I look at like Angel Reese following after her mom, LeBron and Braun. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's something that I'm passionate about, or if I know how to do it, my child's going to know how to do it. Like I'll say this: both of my girls know how to cornrow. They know how to do hair. They know how to cornrow. Know how to do relax. Like they know how to do the things that I know how to do.
Yeah,
my children know how to do.
Yeah.
So, I just be like, dang, I could have been out here like this.
What would it have taken? Like, knowing how you were as a kid, what would it have taken?
It wouldn't have taken much. I'll tell you this. It would not have taken much because, we went to gymnastics once, right? And so I know. I understand my parents had 4 kids. It was so gymnastics ain't cheap. And so it is something that you want to start super early. I think my mother took me to see at like 8. And so I went because of a neighborhood friend. She was kind of doing this. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Cool. Yeah. But at 8, you're not as flexible as you would have been if you started at 2. And so it's like my parents like, I don't want to waste money. And I would just be honest with you. I think that they did a lot of stuff with my siblings that didn't
take.
And so now you come up with 2 more. I'm not wasting my money on that.
Yeah.
Right? So like, y'all be hearing me play around in this little thing with my little vocals sometimes. Right? When I be like, do right? So my sister went to Duke Ellington. They got her a singing coach, all of the things. And so, and also because she kind of asked about it, so she went in, but no shade. She's doing gigs and stuff now, but I feel like you could be so much further in your career, especially like when you think about other people that have gone to Duke Ellington, when you think about Tupac, when you think about Jada Pinkett Smith, just you had this opening, and I don't think that you fully
took advantage of
it, which a lot of people that didn't have that maybe had to kind of like work a little harder, and you had parents that afforded you these things, right? And so sometimes the situation in which you don't do, because they're like, okay, well, she asked about it, we put her in it, and she didn't go anywhere. So the kids have to really show that they want to do it before we back them, because we've kind of already thrown the money away for,
I understand that.
So it's like, because like now I've been thinking about like finding a singing coach. Because I was like, I feel like I got a little rough edge.
Oh, yeah?
Somebody can tune me up. I got a personality. I can be on the tube.
You should just try to find like some choirs that you could get. It's if you want to get into singing,
but I want to be like, I want to find a coach so I can like know what the notes are. You know what I'm saying? Like I need one-on-one. So now
not necessarily a lot of that you can learn in a choir setting. Okay, because they do a lot of coaching to try to get the sound that they want. So
but anyway, so I'm excited about the Olympics. I'm gonna tell you this. Back to voting. You better vote, because the Olympics will be in the United States in 4 years. We don't want the orange man representing us.
Some people do.
So watch the Olympics. It's on for 16 days. Yes. Go, go, go.
Team USA.
Team USA. Y'all out here balling, swimming, flipping, throwing, discing. What else they be doing? Pole jumping.
I don't know, girl.
Running.
Wait, did y'all see that one thing where it was the pole jumping tryouts and it was the guys? No. I think you sent it to me. Did I? It was a guy doing the pole jump, but then he had a big old sling thing.
That man there. He had a pole and a kickstand. I'm like, who are you? And where did you come from?
See, now that we're getting older, we got to be careful, because they be babies.
They do.
They be babies. And this is a real thing now. Like before, you could just look at stuff and be fine. Now you have to be like, now how old are you?
Now, this is the thing. I think he was in college, so All look-sees are look-sees. Okay. I think he was quite grown.
Okay.
But that was out of control.
It was.
In my mind, I'm like, who wants that? That's the first thing I'm thinking was like, first of all, I'm in shock. I'm in utter shock. Because why? First of all, why are your pants so tight? Loosen them things.
No, because everything has to be compressed.
I understand.
He gotta protect himself.
Because that thing was hanging like laying on this leg like a goddamn leech. You hear me? Like that thing was like. Take it. I'm sorry. But I'm like, and then you got the nerve to be running fast. Oh, baby, is that thing gonna get a thigh burn? Jesus, Lord, have mercy.
He needed for balance.
Listen, I would be off balance the way that thing was. Anyway, that appendage is appendaging. Okay. But yeah, so they,
we gotta figure out what games he gonna be in.
Listen, cause I'm watching. What you got on? Tidy and whiteies, okay? Cause I'm my peepers are peeping. My peers are peering.
Oh man!
And then shout out to the two, and I gotta find out their names. I'm gonna try to put it in here, but the two youngest Olympians. I think one of the dudes is like 16.
Yeah.
And I think he's from Maryland.
Is he playing basketball?
No, he's track and field.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they out here.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to Team USA. Basketball, the women's, even though y'all got dogged by the All-Star game.
Oh really?
They got dogged.
But it is what it is.
That competition is at home, baby, because I can't nobody touch us. But yeah, so.
Well, was that another great episode?
That was another great episode. I want to, thank y'all for listening to our rant.
And happy early birthday to my stepdaughter, Sydney. She'll be 21 tomorrow.
Big 21. Who's drinking?
She not even a big drinker like that.
But you still can take it to the
We're going to try.
Okay.
We're going to try.
No cocktail hour.
We're going to try.
Okay.
We're going to try. She be in her little Leo bag. She don't want no... She
not a social... I get it.
Oh, and then like... I don't want to be doing everything that everybody else is doing.
Well, you don't have to. You can just have a little cocktail. Now, when we took her on that boat cruise, she had a good time.
She did have a good time.
She had a good time.
But I felt like she was in her element, though.
Yeah.
She was around other people that was like, we're going to put our toe in, but we ain't doing too much.
Yeah, that's how we do that. But that's how we live. Except when that's why when LaToya go out, we got to bring her, rear her back. Because if she go out by herself, you see where she end up. Stranger Things. Anyway.
On that note, we'll drink to that.
Oh, you guys have a great day.